Now, Nkosi Sikeleli, the anthem of South Africa, to be sung by Arno Jordan.
Nkosi Sikeleli, Afrika, malubaka miso onowayo, izwahili tandazo yetu, Nkosi Sikelela, Tina Lusapawayo, Morena Buloko se chama saiso, ofedice ditwale matweni ho, o se boloke se chama sa, Jesus se chama sa, South Africa, South Africa.
A shot of emotion with the singing of the national anthems, and now a charge of a different sort to go through the crowd as the All Blacks prepare to do the haka.
Well, of course, this was interesting last week at Loftus when the crowd started singing Ole, Ole, Ole.
A Spanish soccer song, yeah.
Spanish soccer song. It was a bit weird, actually.
Well, we'll see what sort of response they get as the All Blacks prepare to lay down the challenge. So the All Blacks perform Kapo Apango in front of this crowd here at the Royal Bafokeng Stadium. Rico Gear prepares to join his mates on the bench.
Chris, this is you.
Well, wonderful preparation at the start of a test match. Silent to us, of course, no microphones on the ground. But the timing, the precision, the intensity, it's all there to see.
Well, magnificent conditions, as we heard from Ian Smith. This ground here will provide ideal underfoot conditions. And it's not as hot as we thought it might be. We were here early on in the week and it was in the high 20s, but it's a nice, comfortable 20-odd degrees here as referee Chris White does a quick count around, making sure there's only 30 players on the field. Overcast skies and a breeze just to keep the temperature down. Conditions could not be better.
Captain, thank you, thank you. Stay back, lads.
So the box lining up in pairs to receive the kickoff.
And the All Blacks' last appearance at the Phillips Tri-Nations is underway at the Royal Bafokeng Stadium in Phokeng, just out of Rustenburg, on the high veld of South Africa. And the Springboks with the ball early on, and a touch for Andre Pretorius, drilling a long kick downfield. Doug Howlett taking it and firing it quickly in field. So'oialo was there, and a chance for Joe Rokethoko to have Brian Habana on, looking to get on the outside, but Habana equal to the challenge.
Well, he was. Rokethoko on the outside break.
Howlett in close, and all over him was Pedri Vandenberg, driving him back. But Jimmy Cowan has it for the All Blacks, having a little snipe, but the ball's been lost forward, and the Boks will get the chance to attack.
A mile offside, Tony Vandenberg, and a mile offside.
Okay, Louis, far side.
Here's Rokethoko on the outside. He tried to fend, but Habana, he had the gas. He let him go on the outside and had the gas on to stay with him and grab him.
I want the crouch, Simon.
I wonder what the confidence factor is when that happens.
Crouch
Will he
and
have a go
hold.
the next time,
Crouch and
Rokethoko on the
hold.
outside? I hope so.
Both sides break
Well,
up.
it's a
Far
different
side, be quiet.
alignment for this Springbok
sides, wait
back line.
for it.
Van Olafia moving
Wait
out to
for it.
centre. Normally plays in the inside centre position. Today he's on the
Crouch and
outside
hold.
position. Are they going to move the ball? Furi de Pria.
Stay there, scrum half. That's good.
Vandenberg gets it away to de Pria, running across field, but they're looking to get the ball some width. But not a great pass. Ndungani had to stop and take it. Didn't lose it, and now penalised.
Yes, someone fell actually in the All Black backline on defence there and gave Ndungani just a little bit of room to move.
Well, this penalty awarded just outside the 22. Thump downfield, not put into touch. And Vandenberg almost back to his own goal line. In fact, drops it down.
Pretty smart thinking, really. I mean, I wouldn't have thought it would have made it, but he was patient. If it had dropped short, he would have been under pressure.
Well, you don't have to kick the ball quite so far in this stadium. It's not 100 metres. In fact, the 22s are actually on a point 21 metres out from the goal line, and the dead ball areas are very narrow, and the pitch isn't as wide as we're used to seeing in New Zealand, so maybe not quite as much space. Here's Aaron Major putting it high and giving chase. Sivi Vatu lining up the Springbok man at the back, which is Furi de Pria, but he makes good ground. Taken in the tackle by Major, and it's there for John Smith. Springboks trying to move the ball out of trouble. That's Jacques Fourie. Now du Pria, flat pass to Ndungani. Driven into the ground.
No advantage in the way.
This time he's found out where the offside line is, and it's a penalty to the Springboks.
Well, they've come to play, haven't they, South Africa? They're moving the ball in reasonable fashion. They're trying a bit of counter-attack. Good step there. Getting out of trouble, then setting up. They're having a feel of it too. Most of the Boks players would have had the ball this early in the game. Quite different from last week, where there was a propensity to kick almost every occasion.
Numbers!
So, the line out.
How many?
A great area of strength for South Africa last week, not only on their own ball, but against the throw.
It looks like you got Aaron Major there for not getting out of the way fast enough. So here's John Smith, just on the 10-metre mark, drifting down towards the back, and Vandenberg wins the ball, and de Villiers will take them on, taken just around the ankles. Carter having to make the tackle. Now they look to the big man to try and head it up the box. Oh, bad hands there, and the All Blacks have got it. Muliaina.
Let's tidy it up, lads. There's a couple there.
You lost it.
1, 2.
Well, it might have been the back of last week, but that's a poor start from Jacques Fourie. Really wasn't under pressure at all on this blind side. South Africa building well and trying to use the extremities. That was a good pass, and he was just looking at what was coming, and that was Aaron Major.
Yeah, I think there was a bit of communication breakdown there too, Smithy, actually.
Well, you reshuffle the back line and put players in different positions. He's probably going to expect that. So'oialo gets it away nicely to Jimmy Cowan. Slides the kick down the touchline. Fourie, and awkward for him. He really wanted that to put it back down the other end of the field. And now there's a scrap away off the ball.
Watch these two.
There won't be any repercussions, I don't think, because the touch judge had followed play.
Hang on, wait.
Well, you guessed that Matfield would be involved, along with his locking partner and Johan Muller.
Come here.
And for the All Blacks, Tony Woodcock very much a part of it too.
Number 1, I want you over there. I'll talk to you
Who was
first,
the
and I'll talk
perpetrator?
to him.
That's the question.
Thank you. Please do not get involved. Do not get involved.
Just a word. And they'll go to the line out. Oh, you can see there was a bit of a clash of bodies there. Well, that's just Matfield tripping over Carl Heyman there, and Moller deciding to take exception to it.
3 plus 1. Who's the receiver?
Well, it was Nigley
Who's the
last week.
receiver?
So
Stay
it's
there.
going to be Nigley
You
again
in the
this
back,
week.
please.
It is the All Blacks against the
Okay.
Springboks after all. So Smith. Yep.
Leave his inside arm alone.
A little bit of obstruction, the line out.
Number 5.
Oh,
number
Matfield
5.
giving the message.
So the penalties are coming fairly thick and fast early on.
Chris White actually pointing the finger at Ali Williams there, grabbing his inside arm as he jumped.
And Matfield letting him know.
6.
You can see the arm there quite clearly. So now they have a line out just a couple of metres short of halfway, and this time Matfield goes up unchallenged. Yes. All Blacks trying to defend it, but this is a good advance.
Number 6, number 6, come away.
Well, it's a good drive. They're united, aren't they? Body positions low, ball at the back.
Vandenberg has it in the back, and he's got the All Blacks.
And a penalty too.
So probably a chance for Pretorius here.
Number 8, first time. Number
I'm
8.
not sure, but Ronnie Sualo came through at the end. But that was a very effective drive. That's the third Springbok line out. Their throw. The first 2 were challenged effectively by New Zealand. The third one was beautiful ball taken off the top, driven hard, and you can see it here. 8 men behind. That's everyone committed, even the hooker. New Zealand trying to hold with 3.
Well, Smithy Pretorius kicking. There is a breeze here. He makes his little sandcastle.
The way I read it, Tony, it's probably going,
keep watching in those exchanges.
as we look at it in a normal shot, it's probably going bottom left of screen to top right. So he'd probably be looking to fade the ball in off the left-hand
just keep
upright.
watching on those exchanges
If he's
if
got
we're
that
getting
sort of
into those
control.
balls.
I'm not
Can you
sure
hear me now?
distance will be a problem. Soialo absolutely baffled as to why he was penalised, thinking that he had joined that maul from a legal angle.
Can you hear me?
But the breeze, I won't say it's Wellington standards, but it's useful enough to be a problem.
Wellington, what breeze?
You miss it, Murray, you miss it.
What about the line? I'm not missing at the moment, actually. I'm having a good time, but look at the line he's got towards the goalpost. Line of sand to follow.
This kick just around 40 metres for Pretorius, and straightening it up. And first points on the board to the Springboks.
Well, significant in my mind. The drive from the line out is a psychological advantage to South Africa. New Zealand committed only about 3 to hold. I think we'll find in future, as he strikes the ball beautifully, I think we'll find in future New Zealand will have to commit more to that line out. Otherwise, the psychological advantage to South Africa will make them grow an inch or 2.
So the Bucks on the board. Dan Carter kicks off for the second time. The All Blacks putting the ball down into the Springbok 22.
Well, once again, they're trying to drive back.
And now Vandenberg moving away. Dupree having a little snipe and then hitting his kick really in field, and Soialo's there, easy for him. Now Howlett. And Howlett having a little go up the middle. De Villiers struggling to hold him.
Move away, number 4.
Effective, Howlett.
Cowan, they move it to the left. Major slicing through. Major, he's got Rokethoko one way, and he's got forwards inside. Chris Jack, Jerry Collins, and now Andrew Hoare. Ball knocked down.
Advantage.
And, well, he's come round offside here. Corey Dupree.
Offside.
Yeah, it was a tough action
Number
on
9.
Dupree. It looked like the ball was out. It was actually being held by one of the New Zealand players. So therefore it wasn't out.
Well, it took a knockdown of the ball. He's given them the benefit of the doubt because it saved a try.
Well, Tony, we spoke to Joel Stransky about the rushing defence. He said it's a problem, and there the culprit, Brian Habana, came way out of alignment, and that was where they were busted wide open.
Well, if that pass had gone, Major had Rokethoko outside him, and that would have been a try. Great break, Major. He sliced through beautifully. It's the thing about this New Zealand black line. Unless their markers stay on the inside shoulder,
Could be when we're running.
any one of these players can make a
I can
break.
hear you now.
Well, Daniel Carter has kicked 99 test match points this
Don't be
year.
frightened to give a hand signal if I can't see. If I can't hear you. It's important.
So here's a chance for him to level the scores.
Which he does.
Ball sailing high above the line of the goalposts. But over it goes, and it's 3-all.
Cool, calm and collected. Mr. Carter. A lot of C's there, aren't there? Cool, calm, collected Carter.
Just 24 years of age already, he's achieved so much. And as he continues to develop his game, as he believes he's doing, boy, exciting possibilities. 3-all. So Pretorius kicks off, puts it high, and coming forward, Richie McCaw. Well, they kicked the ball to him all afternoon last week. Now Major.
Let's go, gentlemen. Okay.
Lee underneath it, and just out from the 22, so fires it infield. Pretorius with the options. Nicely struck punt, and gains good ground.
Oh, yes, indeed. Major not wanting to put the ball in touch. Confidently kept it in field, but what a reply. Well, he started well, Pretorius. This is New Zealand's first line-out. So McCaw took it beautifully. He broke away, but look at this tackle. Great tackle, isn't it?
That's Oscar Hunt, and he's a very good tackler.
Well, he's a very good player.
Receiver.
Couldn't believe one of the journalists suggested he should be dropped during the weekend.
Now attention on the New Zealand line-out. Inside their own 22. This is where the heart beats a little quicker, but Richie McCaw answers the call at the back.
I'll tell you what,
Give it up.
brave move to throw it to the back in the first line of the game.
Andrew Hoare peeling away, spinning through a couple of tackles, including that of his opposite number, John Smith.
There, number 4. 4 off your feet.
Well, he did very well,
No.
Hoare.
No. You've gone off your feet and you're still
Andrew
holding on
Hoare,
to
the
the
sort of guy that doesn't look like he's going to break the line, but he just sort of
Sorry, you've
keeps
got to
on
be over here.
hanging in there and pumping his legs, and then he slips through. So often it happens. And he scored a lot of tries, of course, in the same sort of situation, but that time clearly breaking the line with persistence.
Well, he's a tough character. There's a couple of farm boys in the All Black front row today. Andrew Hoare, of course, a farmer. Tony Woodcock. Carl Heyman, you know, he's a rugged sort of a bloke. They'll be up to anything the box can throw at them. Jimmy Cowan wanted to take it quickly, but not really allowed to get into the flow yet, the All Blacks, because of the constant whistle in this game. Down the back they go to McCaw.
Beautifully taken, set up. The box coming in with numbers, look at that. All Blacks battling to break away, so Hoare, this is his area of the game.
Slips under another couple of tackles. He's making useful metres, and Rodney Sotoyalo looks to make another couple.
He has a similar style, doesn't he?
Now Jerry Collins onto it, and again Springboks just almost falling off tackles here. Cowan snatches it away, sees a gap, closes back up again. It's been picked up by Pretorius, and now a chance for the Springboks to break out, but again the hands let them down. Well, that's a sign of a team lacking in confidence, snatching at the ball when opportunities are there.
But they saw the space.
Now Cowan kicks in towards the corner, and Dupree, who's got a great boot on him.
I agree with you, Tony. It is a team lacking in confidence, although prepared to give it a go. They saw the space, they moved the ball, and they did have space. Let down at the end by an error, but the intent was correct. So New Zealand with their second throw.
Oh, hello, Matt Field and Jack part 2. Well,
both have a good reach on them, those boys.
Well, Ali Williams losing that one straight through the hands, and so the Box get a bonus ball. And now it's been lost.
Knock on, off the black hand in the line out.
Yes, but not straight, did he say? Not straight in the line out.
No, it was, it came off
It was actually a good line out too, because they faked to use McCaw again, and then he went in as the lifter for Ali Williams, and it was Ali Williams' mistake, because the throw was right on the money.
No ball.
Been a good start from Andrew Hoare.
Correction hole. Engage. Okay, let's go.
So Dupree sticks it straight under the hooker's feet, and on it goes into centre field. Pretorius.
Number 13 hole.
Another pretty aimless looking kick. Now here's Howlett, chance to open things up from the back. He's got Sivivatu with him. Little lob kick down towards the corner, and Dupree back. Dan Carter fields the kick, and once more they'll look to switch play. Major
Let him run.
Lobbing the ball into a bit of space, but reading it nicely. Dupree is absolutely everywhere at the moment. Now here's Habana. Carl Heyman coming across, and Collins. Springboks flying in off their feet. Now John Smith.
Gee, powerful, 116 kg.
Now the Springboks looking to play with confidence. Popped away to De Villiers. Now Van Olafia. Chance to move it. Fenter out wide.
Hands away, Black. Hands away, Black.
Good play, Box. Whoa, counter-rucking.
Brilliantly driving through was
That's a
Rodney So'oialo. Oh, that's magnificent play from the All Blacks. And Carter thumps it back into touch.
Absolutely outstanding play, Tony. South Africa looking to move the ball and doing it effectively. 2 or 3 rucks, spinning the ball wide. And it all started up front. Olafia, the big pass here. Bit of space there, and that's AJ Fenter, brought back into the team at 33 years of age. He's a campaigner, that boy, but look at this counter ruck here. Who was it, McCaw?
No, it was Rodney So'oialo who drove through.
And Sitivatu right behind him.
Well, the All Blacks have just owned the breakdown in these matches against the Springboks. Bit of jersey pulling there.
On the player, come here. Come
And
here.
I don't think he's going to let Ali Williams get away with this much longer.
I want to see you going for the ball. That's twice.
Well, he's shaking his head, but it was clear as day.
Clear as day.
Twice
Clear
his
as this
first
day,
instinct
that's
has
for
been
sure.
to play the player rather than the ball.
Well, it was a bit of a grope, really, wasn't it? It wasn't the old.
Well, he still impeded the jumper, and that's twice now, and he's given them a chance to shoot for goal. Ali Williams, who's in discipline, almost got him into hot water last week. He's in a position now where he can't do it again,
No,
or
no,
I would
no,
say
that's
this
your
fellow
mark.
will put him in the bin.
Thank you. That's all right. Sorry.
Well, Andre Pretorius kicks this goal, 2 out of 2. The crowd will go crazy, and his confidence will soar. He's a bit of a confidence player. Likes to have a bit of a go at the line.
There's the ball, no trouble with the distance. It's slightly lower altitude than in Pretoria, but still way above sea level. So Pretorius to try and put the Springboks ahead again. Long, deliberate and accurate.
Well, he's got a bit of a slice, hasn't he, the way he kicks. I wonder if he plays golf the same way, but he's kicked both of them to the outside the left-hand upright, and they've both swung round. Maybe it's the breeze a little bit, but down the centre.
Well, wind direction is the factor, Murray. As I said, bottom left, top right. If you're looking at the big shot of the ground, that's the direction of the breeze. So basically that kick was straight into the teeth of it. But it just shows you cannot give away penalties within 50, 60 metre range.
Well, both teams found that out last week. Here's Brian Habana. Oh, he stood up Joe Rokothoko and then headed back in field.
So,
Yeah, but Woodcock nailed him.
And Pretorius under pressure. Carl Heyman coming at him, puts the ball into touch. So now the All Blacks get an attacking line out.
Yes, Rokothoko came up pretty quick. He gave him the outside break, and Habana said, "Thank you. Yep, I'll take that." But Heyman, twinkle toes, Heyman.
oh, stay here. Or go, which are
Well,
you?
you can see there lots of gaps in the
Green.
crowd, which is
That's
disappointing.
fine, no,
I think
I'm
it's
fine.
just a
We've got the gap there.
combination of
Thank
the fact that this stadium is a long way away from some of the traditional rugby centres,
All in with that.
and this despondency about the box. They win here this afternoon. They want to come back here every year. Now Cowan has it off the Williams throw, and now Rokothoko loses the ball, leaves it behind him,
Just for a knock on.
and the box able to pick it up.
Okay, lads.
Pretty
Okay, sorry.
complex move,
It's
that
been
one,
knocked
actually.
on there. It wasn't coming
The
quick
players
enough.
running in all directions, about 4 different angles, lines, and the last one was supposed to go to Rokothoko. So beautiful ball off the top. It was actually quick ball too. Look at Cowan.
Right, hold on.
Distributing.
There's no ball, gentlemen. There's no ball.
Rokothoko, I mean Sitivatu, wasn't it?
Hang on, who are we binding on for?
Rokothoko on the right.
For who are we binding on?
He looked a little bit flat, maybe.
Engage.
Well, he was running into traffic too.
Stay on, please.
Springbok scrum holding solid. Pretorius onto the left foot. They're really pushing him onto that boot. And up goes the flag.
Sorry? The front lock came round. Right, I'll check, yeah.
So New Zealand to throw again. Line out. Pretty
Move,
effective
move,
so far,
Greens.
New Zealand. McCaw a
Green's
couple.
there, thank you.
Ali Williams one.
That's fine. That's fine. Stay.
Contest is happening though.
Ali Williams is the go-to guy at the moment for the All Blacks. Carter, now they look to get it wide. Miliaina Rokathoko into the line, lobs the pass to Howlett. Now Sivivatu stretching out. Runs into a double tackle but presents the ball. Habana making the tackle. Inside the 22. Carter, they go wide to Jack into a hole. Jack Collins. Try to the All Blacks, it's Dan Carter.
Oh, outstanding stuff. It was pretty to watch. Look at Jimmy Carter's clearance from the ground. Just gave that extra second. And then the pass to Jack in the spot. There was no defence on Jack. Jack looked like he might go the whole way.
Well, look at the distance that Rokathoko travelled. He created the extra man. Ndingani was drawn inside. That gave the space for Howlett. And then, of course, it went back right again. And Chris Jack, acres of space, really. Acres of space. Collins could have scored with momentum. Carter did.
Well, it's a team try. An absolute cracker. Look at that. Keeping his feet long enough to clear to Collins, who was in support. That's significant over the advantage line.
And great presence of mind by Jerry Collins too. He was aware that he probably could have had a go himself, but opted to make the safe play, which was the offload, and the try scored and converted by Carter.
Well, Murray, how much does that ding aside? You talk about the Springboks coming to play today. First opportunity, really, the All Blacks to spin the ball wide. They cut them open, first on the left and then down the middle.
Yes, the composure of Collins. I mean, very rarely does this man get rattled. Neither does Carter, by the way. But you're absolutely right, Smithy. Two occasions they've had a go. They've broken the line both times, and that time it resulted in a try which has silenced the crowd.
10-6, the All Blacks lead with the first try of the game. Sivivatu with the ball, and really looks in very good form at the moment after coming back from injury. So'oialo and Carter.
No.
Long, high kick, and going back, taking it nicely in the end, Petri Vandenberg. Now flings a huge pass into centre field, and Pretorius. That's another poor kick from Pretorius. Easy for Major. Rodney So'oialo decides to go back the other way. Intercept by Abena! The burglar's back. Read it like a book.
And he did indeed. I was sitting in the line of his aim, and he saw that pass coming from So'oialo. So'oialo just hesitated a second. He was going to take it up, then he thought, I'll move it. I've got three defenders. The key was the Springbok defence. There were three men on So'oialo, so he had to throw, and Habana, he knew.
Well, it was interesting, wasn't it? Major had the opportunity to kick first of all, but he chose to give it to So'oialo. I think he was just trying to create a bit of space, though he could get it back quickly, but So'oialo, he delayed the pass, and it was he that felt the guilty one, and hands went straight to head as he knew he couldn't drag Habana back. So a mistake there at the back by the All Blacks. Big one.
And very good defence by South Africa, who have been working on it all week. That is true defence when three guys come up flat.
That's Brian Habana's 16th test try, and so many of them have come like this.
Yes.
Hasn't scored one for a fair old while. But boy, that'll get the confidence back, and he is a confidence player. So the All Blacks guilty of playing rugby deep inside their own territory. Carter with the restart, and the Boks lead by 13-10. Here's Victor Matfield, who
Hands away now, hands
really
away.
hasn't done much
that's good.
apart from winning line-outs and make the odd late tackle in this test series so far. But signs there, but maybe wants to run with the ball.
No, be quiet. I can't see anything.
John Smith having a go at the referee about why Osterant is down at the moment. Boy, the big fella doesn't look too good, does he? Looks like he's got a bad cut in the back of his head.
Good.
It takes more than that to keep Osterant down.
So we'll go to the bench, the Springboks, they have to. So Lawrence Tefaka and jersey 17 making his way around.
Look and see what happens here. There's Durant's head.
Can we just establish where's your new player?
Well, I don't see much wrong with that.
Carl Heyman was the player.
Are you coming in or not?
Three close to him. Here is Lawrence Tefaka.
Gentlemen, can we just come with a touch, Judge, please? Yes, stay here. Black, stay
Just
here.
a temporary loss. Hall with the line-out throw. They've been going to Williams and McCaw so far. This time they go to Jack.
That's over here.
And it
lads.
wasn't straight.
That's over here. What would you like?
Not straight, and of course the crowd think it's the pressure from the Springboks at line-out time that caused that. There's a very knowledgeable crowd always in South Africa about rugby. And there's no doubt about it, it was on his outside arm even.
Hold, gentlemen, hold. Hang on. Have a look, Eric.
Hall having the right distance and
Correct,
speed,
and hold.
but not the accuracy on that.
Hang on, lads, we're
occasion.
not there. We've got
You
one
watch
side
the
up.
line-out, the speed to the scrum though, Murray.
Got
They
one
pick
side
guys up all the time for
Just wait
throwing
it.
in cricket
Correction,
to
hold.
line-out, just to see where this
Correction,
ball
hold.
goes into the scrum.
Engage. Okay, let's go.
Well
Stay on,
spoken
come
to.
out, stay
Straight
on.
to the second row.
Knock on
Good
at the
scrum,
back,
New
number
Zealand
8.
though. Pressure
Scrum
on the
down here,
Springbok
black
scrum.
ball,
They're
knock
going
on.
back.
Oh, brilliant.
Made
Sorry.
it very hard to clear the ball. See, that is a good turnaround. Nobody's jumping and clapping to that one.
Watching here, please, Eric. Watching.
Well, it's probably fair enough too, because I say he's just putting
Hang
the
on,
ball in
John.
straight under the hooker's feet. I'm not saying that Jimmy
Let's get a
Cowan
second
won't do
row.
exactly the
Correction
same
hold.
thing now, but here's a chance.
Not enough space there. Let's
As a
calm down,
result-
gentlemen. Correction hold.
As a result of the pressure from the scrum,
Far side. Fine. Thank you. Thank you.
just watching Heyman here on Lawrence Tepaka, and he
Let's make
really
sure
does
we
look
are
like he's
binding.
giving him a
Make sure we are
horrible
binding.
time.
Listen, make sure we are binding. Thank you, Eric.
Safaka turning around there.
Correction
Yeah.
hold,
You'll be
Eric.
having
Correction hold.
nightmares tonight. if he
Engage.
has to
Turning around and
stay
looking
with
at Pierce Spiess and saying, give me some help. Number 6.
Stay here, boys.
it. Oh, no.
Yeah, All Black scrum looking good with Durban not there. Here's Rokothuko into the line, looking to get the fin going. Off flips a lovely pass away to Howlett. Doug Howlett stepping. Victorious getting in his way, making the stop.
Let's go. Let's go.
Now Carter again, they swing it wide. Heyman and unloads it to Tony Woodcock. Here's Ali Williams down the flank, smashing into Dupria,
Oh, he did well,
No,
Williams.
Green, leave it, Green.
coming away with
He's
it.
there. He's there. He's offside.
Cowan,
Number 11.
and he's got the arm out.
Number 11 is offside
Well,
there.
no advantage at
First
all.
man was okay.
All Blacks had a
Let go,
huge
Thomas,
advantage
let go,
away to the
please.
left.
It's all over. It's all over. Let go.
Impressed with Jimmy
well done.
Cowan's clearance of the ball
Number
to
11,
date,
you were offside
Tony.
there. Number what?
This is his
Okay.
first real big test, isn't it? Starting against this sort of opposition away from home, and he's done really well. Held that time by the hand.
John Smith, the guilty party there. But what Jake White would do to have a bunch of tight forwards
Thank
who
you.
are on the end of that chain with ball skills and patience like displayed there by the two props and Ali Williams.
And Ali Williams also running hard into his player, but keeping in field so he wasn't pushed into touch, forcing a line out to South Africa. And this is the result, of course, a very achievable penalty. I was about to say it easy, but it's not easy. But for a guy like Carter, he makes him look easy, but it's actually quite a difficult kick.
Well, this one here, it's about 4.5 metres in from the left wing touch. Carter's scored all New Zealand's points so far. And looking to draw it back, but can't quite do so. So that's his first miss for the afternoon. And the Springboks stay in front by 13-10. Now, Havana.
It's a different ball being used there. It's a different ball. You take it properly, please. That
Well,
ball's
New
come from
Zealand
over
winning
there.
the battle
No
of-
advantage gained.
Possession at this stage and territory. 54%
Okay,
possession,
thank you.
60 territory.
So Pretorius with the restart. Once again, Aaron Major fields the kick and then lobs it off to Jerry Collins. Going to run straight and hard at AJ Fenter.
Release Green, back
Pick the
foot.
toughest dude in the opposition to run into, but he's got the ball back. A little hesitation here, but Muliaina going in high was Havana.
Oh, but he tackled him well. Stopped him clearing it.
Back foot.
Cowan, he's clearing the ball nicely, as Murray said. Now they go into centre field. McCaw, he's
Use
wrapped
that,
up.
Green, that's good.
Muller making the tackle. Carter, but they're looking to move it. Not deterred by that intercept. Tony Woodcock smashed to the ground by Smith. Onnenberg going in straight offside. That is really dumb play.
Leave it, you've got
Well,
leave it.
dumb play to finish with, but very, very effective defence, Tony. They're getting up, they're rushing, they're hitting the man, taking him ball and all, forcing loose passes. I mean, you've got to say that this defensive pattern of theirs is much stronger than it was last week in Loftus.
I'll have a word with him.
So they've answered the call in that area.
Well, they were defending well, as you say, Murray, but then watch what happens here. John Smith all over Tony Woodcock. And look at, he's just stepping right in front of the All Black player.
Oh, he came over. I mean, he's entitled to come over the top, though, if he keeps his feet.
Well, Chris White didn't think so. And now the All Blacks have got a penalty and a line out just inside the 22.
I guess the angles on television are hard to determine, aren't they? Misleading.
Let him down, no arms.
Obviously a local school or team.
They don't look all that happy at the moment. Their team's leading. Here supporting the Springboks. Now the All Blacks looking to drive off. Ali Williams claiming the line out.
Which is what they need, I think. A good drive and clean ball in the line out.
Collins has got it. And
accidentally offside. You can see, no, you can see what's happening.
McCaw not happy.
Well, I'm not happy either. I thought that was a very good drive.
Accidentally offside.
Separated by the box, but they still kept the arrowhead going forward. It's a tough call.
Well, Durant is still off the field. Look at Matfield and Williams having another go. And where's this accidental offside? We must have missed it.
Well, Oz has just come out of the tunnel, and it might be a good time to get him back if they can. This is a very big defensive scrum for South Africa. About 11 minutes out from half-time.
Yeah, well, one of the Springboks has gone down with an injury, and so Oz will get time to trundle back out onto the field.
It's a shame. I'd rather see another scrum with Sudafrica getting dealt to.
I'm sure Carl Heyman would have too. So, little cameo, not a very enjoyable time for Lawrence Tapaka.
Well,
hang on, boys.
You learn by things like that.
Engage. Okay.
And here's Dupree.
Far side, lads. Let's have a look. I'm coming far side. I'm coming far side, gentlemen. Eric, both sides.
It's just a word there to Eric Darriere, the French touch judge, who seems like a fairly laissez-faire sort of a fellow. Doesn't like to get involved too much.
Okay. No, nothing yet. Nothing yet. No, it's nothing. No, it's no problem.
Scrum moving around.
Make sure we're straight.
Well, this is a titanic battle in the front row. Oz Durant, Carl Heyman.
Seconds in. Crouch
probably
and hold.
The best couple of
Engage.
opponents in the world, I think.
PJ Borta on the tight head side.
Free kick. You've gone round the outside there.
He's got them for illegally wheeling the scrum.
It's not square and stationary, gentlemen. That is not square and stationary. You've gone the outside. He's going straight.
Only a free kick. So Pretorius will look for the touchline. The All Blacks should get the throw here. That's if the ball goes out.
Well, he's done that all right. Beautifully kicked.
It's a free kick, Louis.
Yes, the ball flies easily if it's well hit in this sort of altitude.
Numbers, please.
So,
numbers 5.
Certainly no stability in that scrum, which is what the penalty was for.
9 minutes to play in the first half, and it's the Springboks leading 13-10. All with the throw, and Chris Jack. So they're really mixing it up today. Now Carter, a little inside pass to Sivivatu.
That's good, it's gone back, it's okay, it's out.
By South Africa,
no, it's not. He's done it, lads, he's done it.
Yeah, they've got it, and they've got numbers too. Oh, but Matfield kicks. Well, he had Ndungane unmarked outside him.
But interestingly enough, the crowd didn't applaud. Now, a couple of years ago in South Africa, if a South African player, doesn't matter who it is, had towed the ball ahead and it bounced and touched, they would have applauded a good kick.
How many?
So the psyche has changed. The appreciation of the utilisation of ball, possession.
It's quicker than the players have obviously grasped hold of it, that's for sure. I mean, that's just a great turnover, a very rare turnover. You've got numbers out to the right and you kick it straight back to the All Blacks.
Now McCaw beaten to the jump though. And great work from Spieth towards the back. Here's de Villiers. So the Springboks just having some confidence restored here this afternoon. Big long pass out to Borta in centre field.
He's done it, lads. He's done it. Let's go.
And Tony Woodcock's got in there. And there's the ball.
4 leave alone. 4 leave alone. Leave it.
Well, Dupree it. No one buying that dummy.
Hands away
no.
now. Hands away.
Exaggerated swing to pass back. Pretorius looks like he might be thinking about a drop kick here. He's dropped right back into the pocket.
No, he's fine.
Oh, great work from McCaw.
On the floor, 1, 2, 3 on the floor. He's on his feet.
Well,
1, 2, 3 gone to ground.
Explanation by the referee.
No, get off. Get away.
They're still not letting go of the ball.
See, 1, 2, 3 on the ground, and one New Zealander on his feet trying to rip the ball free. So that's what the penalty's for. It's a good penalty, actually, when you see those sorts of explanations, but so often it's difficult to judge which team should be getting the penalty.
But again, further domination at the breakdown by the All Blacks, and Smithy, that trio is working superbly. That's another belting kick.
Well, Ruck and Moore turnovers are at 3-1, so it's still a good lead by New Zealand, but South Africa winning their one just a few minutes ago.
Well, let's just go back to the decision-making by Matfield. OK, South Africa stole the line out off New Zealand, but just common sense rugby, and that's what Jake White was imploring that they do for 80 minutes. Don't go off the boil, don't do stupid things.
No, that's fine, that's fine.
Well, the All Blacks, sorry Smithy, All Blacks just hoped to come and move in late to the line out and make the throw, but they weren't able to do that, so they go to Ali Williams.
Oh, and it was well done too. Oh, Springboks didn't know where that ball was going. The way they compete,
advantage,
they've got to know where the ball was going, and they had no idea.
Leave him.
Well, he's got the arm out here, so the All Blacks can have a real crack here now. Carter firing it out to centre field. Muliaina
getting 3 men tackled cleanly.
Back we come. Collapsing. Hang on.
New Zealand with an opportunity to square the tables.
Hang on. I'm not there yet. Eric, here.
But I'm encouraged by the New Zealand line out, Tony. A big area last week of concern for New Zealand.
4, collapsing.
Well, Smithy, it looks like they're really just trying to keep it simple, don't they?
Well, they've been, that's what people have been asking them to do, Tony, isn't it? That's what people, so-called experts, have just been saying. Just play the percentages and get your own ball successfully in the areas you know you can win it. And the player penalised there, Johan Muller, for dragging that down, and you quite clearly see him pulling that maul down. So opting not to go for the posts.
Yeah, big throw of the dice here for the All Blacks. Well, they scored soon before half-time last week, and it turned out to be a real heartbreaker for the Box. It was a penalty from 62 metres. I wonder if they'll go to Williams again, because he's been pretty solid in the middle of the line out. But no, they go to the back, and it's knocked down on the Box side. Dupree looking to scamper out with it. Could get into trouble here.
Oh, yes.
Driven back into the end goal.
McCaw and Carter.
Oh, brilliant defence.
Well, Springboks read that mail, Murray. Matfield down the back, clearly superior to the All Black jumpers.
Oh no, Matfield read that one. The time before, they didn't know where it was going. The trouble is, I don't think that line-outs are a simple thing. And most of the people saying they're simple will never line-out forwards.
How's that from Dan Carter? McCaw came in to help him, but Carter already had him over the goal line. Now they go to the blind side. So'oialo, close. Pops it back to Collins.
Away Green, let go.
Just a metre short.
Let go Green, back foot.
Now picked up by Andrew Hoare.
It's that sort of area.
It's
out of his way, boys, out of his way, that's good.
Well, good defence.
Now let go Green.
All Blacks still hammering.
Okay, boys, leave it.
Keep hammering until they sense they've got something on out wide. And
taken in, held up.
Oh, turnover. That's an effective turnover. South Africa, great defence.
Offside, then it's
New Zealand having a little pop over the top, and the ball was ripped or held up by South Africa.
Well, you can only think there, Murray, that Ali Williams thought he could go over the top and score, but he was probably a couple of metres short of doing that.
Time on. Have a look, make sure we don't go there.
As soon as he went over the top, the South African forward started yelling, he's up, he's up.
There's an injury here. I think Matfield's gone down.
Well, of course, trying to go at the top, you've got to have clear air, because the moment you leave your feet, you've got no power. The moment you dive, you've got no power, just wait. Then you're held up and isolated, and that's what happened. Well, New Zealand putting the heat on. They need to come back now.
Gabby, can you hear me? In the first half to do it.
Gabby, can you hear me?
Matfield just...
Gabby Papas, can you hear me?
Taking a bit of a blow on the shoulder there.
Time the clock is correct, yes?
So,
hang on,
5 metre scrum. The All Blacks will be trying to put big pressure on the Springboks here. Let's see how it goes.
Well, they were penalised last time, looking to try and wheel it around. Munnenberg's picked it up off the back and showing good strength too.
Yeah, he did well.
And back it goes, and then goal to Pretorius. And that kick's just gone right down the middle to Doug Howlett. Off he goes. Well, Rokethoko came in field, and so he lost contact with him there. But they've got it. Hoare away to Sivivatu, and Carter just looking a little disorganised. So Jerry Collins busts up the middle. Collins. Boy, shades of Ian Kirkpatrick there.
No, that's not.
Oh, once again, the All Blacks have got it. Chris Jack.
Just about.
Let go, no.
I'll have another crack. Haw! Well, he's got it down.
Ooh, how can you not allow that?
Have a look, please. Hugh, make sure the ball was grounded and there was no obstruction in front of the player, please.
Silence has erupted here. I think the crowd think it's a try.
Hugh, did you hear the call? Make sure there was no obstruction in goal, please.
Oh, hang on.
Okay, no problem, Chris.
No, how can you obstruct in goal?
Well, he's saying that there's another player involved shielding away a tackler as Hall went inside.
Well, let's just see where... Soyalo maybe.
Yeah, that's the one he's looking at.
Yeah.
Soyalo taking out de Villiers.
Well, he's bound there. And Hall's already over the line. Well, who knows? That was a maul.
It'd be pretty tough not to award that try, especially when he planted it so emphatically.
It's nothing to do with Hall. It's all about Soyalo's role in that.
And whether or not he was bound to the maul. Here it is. Oh, did it take place in the field of play? They want another replay.
Well,
he has no jurisdiction outside that white line. Once it's over that white line, I guess you could say he's involved.
Well, I mean, most of the... Well, I think that Hawes ripped it free, but I suppose that he's saying,
Chris,
did Soyalo stop the
I have a decision for you. There is obstruction by 8 black.
Number 8, black. Obstruction in front of the player. Penalty, no try. And in goal. Thank you, Hugh.
Well, there's got to be two issues there. One is, was he part of a maul when he had a hold of de Villiers? And if so, was he not within his rights to wrestle him out of the way? The other thing, was it in the field of play? But the TMO has decided that cleared the path. Well,
numbers,
that one
please.
can be debated. I don't know whether we
6.
look through the finer points of the law book at the moment, but it's a let-off for
6.
the box.
Well, it was still a great counter-attack by Howlett that started it all.
I just wonder how important that might end up being in the context of this match. I'll tell you that it's been a year for weird decisions by the TMOs in South Africa for sure.
Number 2, come away. That's accidentally offside again. There's nobody in front of you. You've run into the other player. Scrum down, black. Accidentally offside.
Well,
hang on, boys. Can we get here, please?
I guess if the referee is looking hard enough, he can find a reason in a lot of these mauls.
No, gentlemen. Let's get the height.
For obstruction,
right there.
and that was exactly the same or similar to the last penalty, really.
It just always had that feel about it that it wasn't going to go the All Blacks' way, Murray. I don't know why.
Both sides.
That, but
engage. Okay.
I'll find a reason not to award a try, though.
Well, maybe Mr. White was watching Soyalo, and that's why he so quickly called for a perspective from the TMO.
Let's be careful, gentlemen.
Well, if there's doubt, it's right to go upstairs for sure. We always say that.
Fraction hold. Engage. Okay.
And then it goes.
There's no bind there. You've pulled him in there. That's not a bind. Penalty against.
And Jimmy Cowan takes it quickly and sets off downfield. Now he links up with Major. On it goes to Muliaina. Just a shimmy past Havana. And Cowan having a little go too. They're certainly making breaks up the middle of the field, the All Blacks. Williams, away it goes to Sidoveni. Little goose step and then runs into a couple of solid customers. Ripped away from him by Chris Jack, and he offloads nicely to Jerry Collins. Hoare is there. And he sees off Osterrand fairly easily. Coming for Cowan. Now the backs are set. Major just behind the rest, so he looks to jink through.
Away, tackler! Hands away there. Let go, Green. He's done it.
Now they switch to the other side, and Carter popping it out to Chris Jack and offloading it nicely, or just got touched by a Springbok, I think. And Jimmy Cowan, who's having a good game here. Yes. And now they get a penalty.
Player there has gone straight off his feet.
Cowan is breaking the advantage line every single time he has a ping. He breaks through, and that's what they want.
Number 7.
And then it's New Zealand going forward.
Well, I think it was AJ Fenter, first test match in 18 months for AJ. We'll just have a look and see whether it was him.
Can we give him a time, please?
Again going in an offside position. The 33-year-old.
Well, trying to slow it down, kill the ball, and then he knows about that.
Yeah.
There he is. Didn't come down in the last shower, this fellow.
And obviously Mr. White didn't either, because that's what the penalty's for.
Just while Carter's lining up the shot at goal, hi to everyone back in New Zealand, particularly all the dads. Father's Day. Steve Hansen asked me to say hello to who's trio, Jesse, Jonty and Ollie. And hi to everyone in Australia watching too on Fox Sports. Carter with another attempt to level the scores. Nice and high again, and over it goes. So the scores are level at 13 apiece, and that's half time here at the Royal Bafokeng Stadium.
But it's been a very eventful first half. Well, the Springboks came to play, and they have. But not only have they played and moved the ball reasonably effectively, but their defensive line has been fantastic. New Zealand on the other part, well, they've been strong. They've been much better in line-outs. Their scrum has been reasonably good. And they've broken the line. They've broken the line several occasions, scoring an excellent try. But going into the half, very square, I'd say, this game.
Brian Habana has a try for the Springboks, and Andre Pretorius has added the extras. Dan Carter has scored all of New Zealand's points, and at half-time, Royal Bafokeng Stadium at South Africa and New Zealand locked it 13 all.
With 245 kilowatts and all-wheel drive, the new Ford Territory Turbo. Eat sports cars for breakfast. For more information, SMS Turbo to 19Ford.
Most would agree, bigger returns from your investment portfolio require higher risk. To illustrate, if this was your investment, you'd expect to take a risk relative to your eventual return. However, using its investment banking expertise, Macquarie has created a range of innovative new investment products that, for the same level of risk, can deliver a bigger return. Talk to your financial advisor or ask Macquarie how to get bigger returns from your portfolio without added risk.
Macquarie, forward thinking.
New Zealand. Show me one good thing about it and I'll support the All Blacks. Okay, sure, the exchange rate makes shopping as cheap as chups, but that just means you buy more. And they say the Kiwis are a really friendly bunch. But I haven't noticed. Now, if you ask me, the best thing about New Zealand is the flight home.
Your hat and scarf, sir.
So half-time at the Royal Bafokeng Stadium, just out of Rustenburg in northwestern South Africa. And on a fantastic day for rugby, we've seen just one try each as the All Blacks and the Springboks are locked at 13 all. Dan Carter has scored all the points for the All Blacks. And with Jimmy Cowan clearing the ball like this, the All Blacks have had the platform to attack. And this was good work from Jack and great presence of mind from Jerry Collins.
Yes, he had his back turned, Collins, so he wasn't sure what was going on. He could see his support, so he gathered in and flicked it on.
Brilliant pass from Carter, wasn't it, Murray?
The way Jack runs back against the flow too, I mean, it's an example to any young backs watching the game, and yet it's a lock forward doing it. But Carter grounding the ball beautifully.
Well, the All Blacks just maybe playing a bit too much rugby inside their own half here, and Brian Habana, the intercept king. Not often he scores a try that isn't an intercept, and he read this one beautifully.
Yes, well, Rodney Soyalo was looking to play like he does, which of course is the most fantastic thing about this New Zealand team. They look to play in any situation in the field. Now and again it comes unstuck. That time it did.
Other opportunities that the Springboks have had to attack really have been spoiled, either by injudicious kicking.
Here's a great break by Collins.
And it got them very close to the goal line here. And this is where the TMO came in. Now, for a start, there should have been a penalty there against Furi de Pria.
The ball is secure.
And the TMO ruled that you see Rodney Soyalo there, not bound, and had wrestled a potential tackler out of the way. So that's why that decision was made in favour of the Springboks, and the try by Andrew Hall was disallowed. Dan Carter kicked a penalty, and so that made it 13-all.
Well, interesting looking at the New Zealand side of the ledger. 68% territory, 61% possession, so they've dominated the game in that area. Even rucks and mauls, I see 41-19. Ruck and maul turnovers of South Africa being much more competitive this game, 3-2 only to New Zealand. And I look at lineouts, New Zealand have won 7, South Africa 3, but more importantly, South Africa have won just the 2 against the throw, so that's a big improvement. 14 penalties in this first half, Tony, that's a lot of penalties.
Yes, and it's actually favouring New Zealand 9-5, the penalty count. So at half-time, all tied up, 40 minutes to play for the All Blacks in this Phillips Tri-Nations for 2006, looking for their 16th straight win, but at the moment they're locked up at 13-all with the Springboks. So the All Blacks perform Kapo Apango in front of this crowd here at the Royal Bafokeng Stadium. Rico Gear prepares to join his mates on the bench.
Chris, this is who?
Well, wonderful preparation at the start of a test match. Silent to us.
Howlett in close, and all over him was Pedri Vandenberg driving him back. But Jimmy Cowan has it for the All Blacks, having a little snipe, but the ball's been lost forward and the box will get the chance to attack.
A mile offside, Tony Vandenberg, and a mile offside.
Okay, Louis, far side.
Here's Rokotoko on the outside. He tried to fend, but Havana, he had the gas. He let him go on the outside and had the gas on to stay with him and grab him.
I want the crouch, gentlemen.
I wonder what the confidence factor is when that happens.
Crouch
Will he
and
ever go
hold.
the next time,
Crouch
Rokotoko
and
on the
hold.
outside? I hope so.
Both sides break
Well,
up.
it's a different alignment for this Springbok back line. Van Olafia moving out to centre. Normally plays in the inside centre position. Today he's on the outside position. Are they going to move the ball? Furi de Pria.
Stay there, scrum half. That's good.
Vandenberg gets it away to de Pria, running across field, but they're looking to get the ball some width. But not a great pass. Ndungani had to stop and take it. Didn't lose it, and now penalised.
Yes, someone fell actually in the All Black backline on defence there and gave Ndungani just a little bit of room to move.
Well, this penalty awarded just outside the 22. Thump downfield, not put into touch, and Vandenberg almost back to his own.
Thousand call to come together and united we shall stand. Let us live and strive for freedom in South Africa.
A shot of emotion with the singing of the national anthems, and now a charge of a different sort to go through the crowd as the All Blacks prepare to do the haka.
Well, of course, this was interesting last week at Loftus when the crowd started singing Ole, Ole, Ole.
A Spanish soccer song, yeah.
Spanish soccer song. It was a bit weird, actually.
I'll see what sort of response they get as the All Blacks prepare to lay down the challenge.
Of course, no microphones on the ground, but the timing, the precision, the intensity, it's all there to see.
Well, magnificent conditions, as we heard from Ian Smith. This ground here will provide ideal underfoot conditions, and it's not as hot as we thought it might be. We were here early on in the week and it was in the high 20s, but it's a nice comfortable 20 odd degrees here as referee Chris White does a quick count around, making sure there's only 30 players on the field. Overcast skies and a breeze just to keep the temperature down. Conditions could not be better.
Captain, thank you, thank you. Stay back, lads.
So the box lining up in pairs to receive the kickoff.
And the All Blacks' last appearance at the Phillips Tri-Nations is underway at the Royal Bafokeng Stadium in Phokeng, just out of Rustenburg, on the high veld of South Africa. And the Springboks with the ball early on, and a touch for Andre Pretorius, drilling a long kick downfield. Doug Howler taking it and firing it quickly infield. Su'uyala was there, and a chance for Joe Rokothoko to have Brian Habana on, looking to get on the outside, but Habana equal to the challenge.
Well, he was. Rokothoko on the outside break.
Now, Nkosi Sikeleli, the anthem of South Africa, to be sung by Arno Jordan.
Nkosi Sikeleli, Afrika, malubaka miso onowayo, izwahi mitandazo yetu, Nkosi Sikelela, Tina Musapowayo, Morena Buloko se chama saiso, ofedice ditwale matweni ho. Oh, se boloke se chama sa, Jesus se chama sa, South Africa, South Africa.